back to Oshkosh today. Thanks again for joining us. Now we have a really cool guest in today here to tell us about a really interesting project that just took place here in Oshkosh, and that's the South Park Inclusive Playground. So I'd like to welcome Pam DeLapp, who was a huge part of making this happen. So first of all, Pam, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So for those of us that don't know, maybe you could first explain to us what exactly is an inclusive playground or an inclusive park?
Well, the inclusive park for Oshkosh means we're removing all the barriers for individuals, all of the individuals in our community. So we have, in that playground, we have rubberized poured surface. It means wheelchairs, walkers, strollers, just any kind of mobility issues. It allows for an easier, safer access to the playground. Mm-hmm. We have a double wide ramp throughout the structure. That allows children to play next to each other and with each other without having just one or the other on the playground.
Wow, really neat.
So our inclusive park was a project that came from an idea about we need to remove the barriers, but we want to talk about inclusion in Oshkosh. Mm-hmm. And so although we have a great playground, we have something quite bigger. We have a community conversation about what inclusion means for all of the residents in Oshkosh.
Which is really cool.
It's very cool.
And so, you know, this park, or this playground, was just recently opened about a week or so ago, actually. They had a ribbon cutting. I think we've got some video from the big fun party that took place that day. And it was just awesome to see all the kids just they kind of stormed the playground. As they cut the ribbon, they just kind of flooded the playground. And it was just so obvious how much they all absolutely loved it, and it was very exciting to see. Maybe you can dig a little deeper into what you were saying before, how we've started this community conversation. You know, why is it that Oshkosh, you know, needs something like this? This is the first playground like it here in Oshkosh.
Well, I have a child with a disability, and we talk inclusion in the schools all the time. Mm-hmm. But inclusion is a community-wide issue. My child needs to be included not only in school, but in the social environments that he's in, out on the playground, and for the other children to understand the differences that kids have. Mm-hmm. And because in the future, those kids are going to be employers and understand, boy, there's real value, even though that person might use a wheelchair, there's real value in that person because, you know, they can be my bookkeeper, or they can mm-hmm. run this machine for me, or, you know, we're going to be hiring people with disabilities and teaching children at a very young age about differences and the values that, you know, we're more alike than we are different.
Oh, definitely.
And so this playground is a stepping stone for that.
Yes, and it's very cool. So you kind of told us who it kind of caters to is the wider areas and the flatter surface. And I know, you know, in passing with talking with other people, it's not only the you know, disabled children, but also even grandparents and people like that who want to go along with their kids on the playground too.
Absolutely. We have grandmas and grandpas that use walkers or canes. Mm-hmm. And the issue with the wood chips in our parks now creates a safety hazard for them. Mm-hmm. And so that rubberized surface gives them access to play with their grandchildren in a safer way.
Yes.
And our wounded vets, our young moms, our young families that have toddlers and then infants in strollers, mm-hmm. they get to navigate that playground with all of their children, and it's really neat to see.
Just awesome. And you know, another thing, as I went out there to take pictures one day, and I did see there was something really cool. I think it was how to read Braille. Mm-hmm. Was a part of the playground, which I thought was really kind of neat. That people can, it's, you know, it's a playground, but you can also there's a lot of educational aspects to it as well.
When we were putting together the plan for the playground, we were really trying to reach all the different abilities. Mm-hmm. So people that may use Braille, sensory panels that are on there specifically for like our autism or sensory, kids with sensory processing disorder. We have a cozy dome in there that's something unique in Oshkosh. It allows kids that may want to feel like, oh, I'm not okay with being in the general population, but I want to be on the playground. Mm-hmm. It allows them to crawl in there and kind of watch what's going on and have a safer environment for them.
Yeah.
We have pieces on the playground that we have something called a sway fun. And a wheelchair can roll right onto that and play along kids that are not using wheelchairs, and it's a piece of equipment that moves, and
cool.
Kids just have a great old time on that.
Wow. So all these little pieces that all come together to create this awesome playground that everybody can enjoy, that nobody's feeling left out.
Right.
So how did this project come to fruition? I mean, something like this doesn't just happen, and I know that the community really kind of got in there and kind of helped to make it happen.
We did. Partnerships was the key here. We had the community foundation was a partner. We had business partners. The city partnered in the creation of the playground. I guess the message there is that a grassroots organization can create an idea and partner with the city and say, here's what we're willing to do. This is how we want to improve our city. And what was so awesome is the city really embraced that and said, hey, we want this, so we'll support that.
Yes, and I can't believe how fast it came up. I mean, it seemed to me they just started, they broke ground on it, and then a few months later we have this beautiful playground. So even that. The
installation on it was very, very quick. Yep.
And you actually, it's not 100% complete yet. You're actually hoping to get a fence around it, a permanent fence for the playground.
Well, one of the things when we were doing our community outreach, the community really said to us, we need a place where we can bring our little runners and be safe. Can we have a fence around this new playground? So we've created a marketing campaign here. We're selling these pickets that will create the fence.
Okay.
And so these are a recycled green product that can be engraved with your personal message, and these will create the fence. And then the sale of these will obviously pay for the fence, but it's also creating a maintenance fund for the future, and it'll be an endowment fund at the community foundation.
That is awesome. And
so
then you get to leave your mark on the park as well.
Absolutely. Supporters can put their message on there. They can put their family name or whatever they have, whatever they want to put on it.
How cool is that? And so how can people do that? Where can we go if we're interested in doing that?
So we have a Facebook page, Oshkosh Inclusive Park. There's some information about the pickets. We also have a website. And then, or they could call, and that number to call would be 920-410-4745.
Wonderful. Well, I can only imagine. I think those pickets are just going to go so fast. So I encourage people to get out there and start, picking those up and getting them in, because it really kind of personifies the playground.
Well, we will be selling these in July at the farmers market.
Oh, great.
So if they come down on Saturday or even on Wednesdays, the new farmers market will be right in the park. So
Wonderful.
You'll see us there with these pickets.
Awesome. Any other future plans? I know this is the first inclusive playground here in Oshkosh, but I mean, it definitely couldn't be the last.
Well, I've heard some rumors of other projects getting started, so we're excited to be able to offer any helpful tips that we learned along the way and encourage more inclusive venues.
Wonderful. Well, we're just so happy to see such success come out of this project, and we can't wait to see all of the fun memories that all these families are going to be making on this playground. Maybe one last time you can give us the website and Facebook page for people to find more information.
Sure. It's www.oshkoshinclusivepark.com, and our Facebook page is Oshkosh Inclusive Park.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations, Pam.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for coming in and telling us all about it.
Thank you very much.